Lakeside Development. We're going to then have a small discussion, and then we're going to have the closing. And I wanted to make sure, because I know everyone's eating, in your packets, this first page is your agenda. A lot of the main points of the PowerPoint are in the first 2 pages right after the agenda, including a map. And then also, because I know that people were really interested in meeting each other too, there's a list of everyone who RSVP'd. There's a list in the back on this side. The rest of the stuff on this side is informational, information about Lakeside Development and some of our educational entities here. And we'll get to the issue later. All right, so Lakeside Development. All right, so what do folks know about Lakeside Development? Anyone? Just raise your hand. What do people know about it?
It's on the rise.
It's on the rise? All right, what do you mean by that?
Economics and the building projects are in place.
I've been waiting 20 years to see something happen, and it's about time something does happen there. It's been vacant too long.
All right. Anyone else?
There's rumors it's supposed to bring many jobs.
All right.
I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's an opportunity for South Chicago and South Shore to grow and to make sure that it's not something where it's competitive, but we use it as an asset. I also think that it is, it will be a city within a city because we're talking 600 acres. We're also talking about the fact that you can fit downtown Chicago into this land. More than twice. So that means it's not going to be just a few jobs. It's going to be almost a whole nother city. Wow. Which means that it's going to be a schools, there's going to be cemeteries, there's going to be hospitals, libraries. So we're going to have a big opportunity to figure out how do we capitalize that and how do we not lose our identity as the 10th ward and then the 7th ward, but make sure that it's compatible and that when people go to this environmentally futuristic place, that they come to South Chicago and South Shore for that home cooking, those home businesses, those mom and pops. So I think that's a great opportunity for us all. I'm just saying.
So actually, that's a great introduction for what we're going to be talking about. So Lakeside Development is a huge development, like Jackie said. It's over 600 acres. Basically what that means is that the loop can fit in Lakeside Development more than twice over. All right. Lakeside Development is managed by McCaffrey Interests and takes place on the former U.S. Steelworks sites. So in case you're wondering, it's all that empty land that's between 79th and 91st, all the way on the lake. So it's where the old U.S. Steel, old Southworks site used to be. It is the largest development taking place not just in the city, but the region, and it covers an area more than twice the size of the loop. It is also the last lakefront property that is undeveloped in Chicago. It will be the largest local source of jobs. It's expected to create over 139,000 jobs. Most of that will be construction, will be about 97,000 of that. So it is huge. It is also supposed to be the ultra green high-tech development. And it said it will have a small section of that space will be 17 million square feet of retail space. So how many of you can wrap your head around 17 million square feet?
A lot of shopping.
I can't wrap my head around it. But the point is it's huge. And that's only a section of the development. It will also have over 13,000 housing units on it, and that'll be both rental and home ownership. And it is expected to take 30 to 40 years to complete just because the site is so huge. And it will be a $4 billion
project.
So this is the map, this is in your folders. But this is what the development looks like. So here's 79th Street, down here's 91st Street. The retail space is right here. That's the 17 million square feet. And then right here is residential, and it kind of goes like this. So the first places are supposed to be developed according to this timeline are from here, and then they'll be developed downward. We also know that Mariano's is committed to being on there once there's a couple more anchor stores, and they are supposed to be on 87 the Lakeshore Drive. So the Lakeshore Drive extension, that empty space that goes through, that's nearly all of it is lakeside development. And we kind of talked about most of this already. So retail space will be up here, residential down here, and they're hoping that this will be research and development. So what brings us here today is that our coalition, Coalition for Lakeside CBA, or Community Benefits Agreement, we are trying to get a community benefits agreement, or a CBA. Basically, that's just a written agreement with the developer and the subcontractors to make sure that the development benefits current existing neighborhoods. So that's everything from, our coalition covers from the South Park High Park all the way to city limits. So that's Woodlawn, South Shore, South Chicago, East Side, South Daring, Headwish, and we go as far east as Chatham. Our goal is to make sure that there is support for local businesses, especially minority, women-owned, and diversity-owned businesses. We want to make sure that there's training and jobs for local residents, and that local residents are prioritized for those jobs. We want to make sure that there's affordable housing, so that there's integration between the existing neighborhoods and the new developments. We also want to make sure that there's educational opportunities for our students, because since the development is going to be going on for some time, we want to make sure that there's a pipeline of students that are coming from our schools that would qualify for the jobs over there. We also, since it's also former brownfield, we also want to make sure that there's environmental protections both during and after the construction is complete. And we would like there to be support for a long time, for tax relief for long-time residents, which we consider anyone who's lived here for more than 10 years. So that brings me to these questions. Just for show of hands, how many people are from churches that have been in the community, and when we're talking about community, the whole southeast side, for at least 10 years? All right, at least 20 years? All right, 30 or more? All right, so we have some well-established churches right here. What about, how many folks are residents that live on the whole southeast side? So, all right, how many have been residents for at least 10 years? 20? More than 30? 30 or more? So that's about, I would say, at least a third of the room. All right, so that's why the community benefits agreement is so important, because we want to make sure that the folks and the institutions that have been here benefit from the development. We want to make sure that folks are not pushed out due to gentrification. So that's where longtime residents are pushed out of the neighborhood when property taxes go up. That happens with businesses as well, when the taxes go up. That means that renters can no longer afford to live in the area, and we have all seen this, right? With Cabrini Green, Bucktown, Pilsen is starting to get gentrified. We want to make sure our businesses receive the support that they need to grow. And we want to make sure Lakeside benefits the folks who have built the community, who have stayed in the community, and who want to continue staying in the community. So for, these are the taxes that we know have, are going into the project. So these are TIF funds, tax increment financing funds. This is what's been allocated. So, or is destined to go to Lakeside. So $119 million have been approved in TIF funds. $98 million will go to U.S. Steel and McCaffrey, who's the developer. USX is also U.S. Steel, that's another $4 million. And then Solo Cup is $17.5 million. And Solo Cup owns the land here. So they were originally supposed to put their company here, When the TIF funds were approved, they were supposed to put their company here. They decided to move elsewhere, but they still own the land. So if you're asking why Solo Cup's still there, it's because that's the land that they own. And this is the budget for Lakeside. When they submitted the TIF, this is what they said. So there's two things to note. One is these are nearby TIFs, and the dollar amount for Lakeside is one of the lowest of all the nearby TIFs, and the other nearby TIFs are smaller. So dollar-wise, we have the second lowest, and we are one of the largest TIFs in the area. There's only one other TIF that is as large, Lake Calumet. The administration, analysis, legal and marketing is 10 times the budget as jobs and training. It's also the largest percentage of any of the other administrative budgets. These are other dollars that we know have gone in. The Lakeshore Extension was city and state funding, that is $65 million. The Mud to Parks program, they got $8 million. A portion of that went to Lakeside. We're not sure exactly how much. I think it's just over $1 million, between $1 and $2 million. Dillo, Illinois bonds for 5 Marianos. For all 5, it's $5 million, and we know that they're building one over at Lakeside Development. So the total dollars that have been committed is $184 million plus. All right, and that's so far. All right. So there's a couple of key things that are in our CBA. We did a survey before we put together our community benefits agreement, and this is what folks said were the most important things. Jobs by far, and then some sort of community improvement, education, and housing. So that's exactly what's in our CBA. So our CBA covers, like I said, from Knight Park South to city limits, and far west is Chatham. These are the zip codes that we have. Our target hires are folks that, of course, are from the area, they're local. But they also include unemployed, underemployed, minorities, women, handicapped, formerly incarcerated, and veterans. For jobs and training, we would like there to be support for pre-apprenticeship training and apprenticeship training, so that residents actually qualify for the jobs. We actually work with St. Augustine College and Black United Fund, or to the coalition members who provide pre-apprenticeship training. We want to make sure that a majority of those hired will be people from the area, and they'll be target hires, which means the minority, women, veterans, formerly incarcerated. And we want to make sure that a majority of folks that are hired that are local are also full-time employees within 2 years. We don't want our folks stuck in part-time jobs instead of into full-time jobs. And we also want to make sure that they have a living wage job rather than a poverty job. We want to make sure that contractors and subcontractors do not have a history of wage theft violations. And we want to make sure there's no pre-screening job applications for prior criminal records. Because like I said, I'd rather have someone who's been formerly incarcerated hired rather than on the streets. We also have some things in there for local businesses. We want to promote the participation of minority women and disadvantaged businesses through financial assistance, contract requirements, and working with local governments to enhance programs for them. We also want to make sure that there's unbundling of contracts